And good morning to you as we give you a live look, a couple different shots here over downtown Indianapolis. You see the downtown skyline and you see the interstates here as traffic's moving right along the Pendleton Pike area here. And we have dry roads, dry conditions, so that's all good news as you get your Wednesday morning at 5 o'clock started.
Yes, although when you're on the road a little bit this morning, you might consider cutting on the heat just to start your day, Chuck.
Or to crank it up. Yeah,
Listen,
because we have a frost advisory this
cold
morning. It is really cold. And for those of you that have like emerging plants like tulips and daffodils, I think the daffodils will withstand this. The tulips, I don't know. Yeah, it depends on where you are, that's for sure. But lots to talk about as we head into Easter Sunday. Live look at Greensburg this morning. And we say good morning to all of you in Decatur County and in that wonderful school system. Their schools are going to be absolutely in session with the heat on, I'm sure, in a lot of the buildings this morning, but a lovely afternoon coming up. Live look at Indianapolis and Carmel, where it is really cool. We have now dropped 4 degrees in 10 minutes. Now 37 in Indianapolis. Carmel is at just 36, so that is frost weather, and we do have a frost advisory until 9 o'clock. Kokomo to Columbus, Terre Haute to Richmond, and everything in between, including the Indianapolis metropolitan area this morning. So, you know, if you have some plants outside and you think they may be in need of some cover, I would say put a sheet on them, not plastic, but a sheet on them. 37 in Indy and Greenwood, 38 in Carmel, 37 also in Rushville this morning, 37 in both Bloomington and Kokomo, and 37 in Richmond. So it's a cool one. Again, this frost advisory in effect until 9 o'clock. And as we go through the day today, things are going to get much better. It's clear outside right now. High pressure is going to give us some sunshine, and we'll get up to 49 by 11 a.m., but a real pretty afternoon. Still below average, but not by a lot. 60 for a high later today. More on some wet changes for Good Friday and Easter Sunday, but we're looking at the northeast side. Is that right this morning, Lindsay?
We're going to go up to I-69, 96th Street and talk about some improvements you're going to notice there today. But first, want to go out to Hancock County. This is where we've had some long-term construction, and it's because they are expanding I-70. So it's actually some good news, but it is causing some traffic flow concerns as this has changed up a bit over on I-70. Now, this is at State Road 9, and this is actually looking west toward Indianapolis. So all of this traffic here coming off of those eastbound lanes. So just note that these ramps are still closed. As you can obviously see right here, this is that ramp off of State Road 9 onto I-70 westbound as they are continuing that expansion project. Just know that this is expected to remain closed, those ramps at least through early June. Now on the northeast side, this is I-69 at 96th Street. Again, some good news announced yesterday that 82nd Street stretch there near Bash Street is now reopened. And that does mean we should see 96th Street traffic eased a little bit because everyone will be back off of that alternate route. So some good news there. We'll keep you posted if we see any issues, any backups or delays through your morning.
Thank you, Lindsay. Your time is 5:03. New this morning, Metro Police say that one man is in critical condition after a shooting late last night near 34th and Emerson.
We know this happened around 11:30. Officers responded to a 911 call and found a man who they say had been shot inside a truck. Officers determined that truck was parked in a gas station parking lot when someone approached it and shot the man. Now, police do have a vague description of the suspect and have no idea if these two knew one another. They've not located anyone just yet, but we will keep you updated. And this morning, we're learning that Governor Braun has signed 9 executive orders that he says will make Indiana healthy again.
And part of those orders include making some drastic changes to SNAP benefits. Let's get to Matthew Foltz, who is live breaking down these changes and what this means for families that rely on SNAP. Matthew, good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you both. Yeah, part of the new changes and some of the new pushes from this program will be for those who rely on SNAP benefits to work while receiving these benefits. It'll also call for several health studies throughout this new program. Now, I want to break down some of the things. Now, according to the governor's office, the executive orders will reinstate income and asset verification for SNAP benefits. Second, they would kick some SNAP receivers who are not getting other forms of money assistance off the program. The orders also call for the state to file a report to the federal government for state flexibility on the SNAP programs. It will then also remove candy and soda from the items that SNAP carries. And the governor's office says those are some of the top purchases on the SNAP benefits program over fruits and vegetables. However, advocates tell 13 News only about 2% of families actually purchase sweets through SNAP.
Folks who use the SNAP program, as best as we know, are eating the same thing that folks who aren't using the SNAP program are eating.
Now, Governor Braun also announced Tuesday that under this new Make Indiana Healthy Again program, there will also be studies on diet-related chronic illnesses, plus fitness tests for students in schools. Now, I know that's a lot of information thrown at you, but we do have a full breakdown of these new changes taking effect right now for these SNAP benefit members. Meanwhile, Jalea and Julia, coming up at 5:30, we'll dive more into just the breakdown of SNAP benefits and how many people really benefit from them here in the Hoosier State.
Yeah, especially when you look at what's being purchased, because those are two pretty contradictory statements there, Matthew. Thank you. We'll check in with you soon.
Well, we are learning more this morning about a deadly crash in Indianapolis that investigators say started off as a police chase in Henry County.
This is a story that we shared as this was breaking Monday night at 11. The Henry County Sheriff now tells 13 News that he initiated that chase after seeing someone driving an SUV erratically in Newcastle. The sheriff says that he stopped the chase 10 minutes before that crash.
State police picked up that pursuit along I-70, but it seems like all agencies had stopped their pursuit of that car before this wreck here. It happened near Washington and Midhofer on the east side. No officers actually saw this crash happen.
We found several guns, ammunition, magazines that were thrown from the vehicle while it rolled. It rolled several times for about 200 yards or more.
4 people were in that SUV. We now know 33-year-old Dwayne Hampton was thrown from the vehicle and died.
Another person is in critical condition and 2 others had minor injuries, we're told. Investigators are still working to sort out who was behind the wheel during this chase. An Anderson man will spend 75 years behind bars for shooting a Pendleton police officer. The shooting was in May of last year. 39-year-old Ross Morlock shot and injured Pendleton police officer Jerry Branson after he was stopped by police. Court documents show that Morlock had a warrant out for his arrest at the time of that stop. A jury found Morlock guilty of attempted murder in March. There is a new execution date set for the man who killed a Beech Grove police officer more than 2 decades ago.
Benjamin Ritchie is now scheduled to be put to death a month from now on May 20th. Ritchie has exhausted all of his state and federal appeals. A jury convicted Ritchie of killing Officer Bill Toney back in September of 2000.
At 5:08, we're learning this morning about a train derailment on Indy's east side that shut down a busy road for several days. You might remember when that train ran off the track on Southeastern Avenue and actually spilled cornstarch all over the road, as that's what's in with some of the cars. The train company now tells 13 News that a broken track caused that train to go off the rails before several cars fell onto the street below. That road was closed for more than 2 days as crews worked to finally clean up that mess. The future is in limbo for some international college students this morning here in Indiana after the Department of Homeland Security suddenly pulled their visas.
Now those students, they're fighting back with some help from the ACLU of Indiana. This new lawsuit alleges the students never got a chance to contest the decision and now worry about deportation. 7 students are named in this lawsuit. They go to Purdue, Notre Dame, and IU Indianapolis.
Rachel Van Tile is the director of legal services for a group called Exodus Refugee Immigration. She is not involved in this suit, but she does have cases that she's following like it.
It's disheartening to see that a lot of decisions are being made without affording people due process. If somebody's visa is being canceled, they should at least be given the opportunity to respond, and they're not doing that.
The ACLU acknowledges some of the students do have criminal histories, but according to their lawsuit, even those convictions do not meet the legal bar to revoke a visa.
Now, according to the ACLU, that requires someone to be convicted of a crime of violence with a potential sentence of more than a year. University representatives are now telling students to look at their options. Purdue and Notre Dame tell 13 News that they have contacted students affected by visa changes, and they're urging them to seek help from their embassies.
And we've also reached out to Homeland Security. They've not responded to our message asking for a comment, but you can read more about this online right now at WTHR.com.